Welcome to Board Game Empire. We're going to be showing you a quick overview and review of Mountain Out of Molehills by the Op Games. So this is a strategy game where you're trying to get the most molehills of your color on the bottom of the stack at the end of each round. You'll be scoring over six rounds and you just score the number of molehills in your color at the bottom of each stack. So you do this and we've got this pulled apart. Normally this is on top. However, we actually played it like this because the way our lighting is, the light's directly overhead, so we couldn't really, got frustrating. We couldn't see this. It's so dark. We couldn't really see where we were moving the moles. So there's corresponding grids on each one, so it was easy for us to play it like this and just do the molehills over here based on where we were on the board. But you're supposed to play it with it on top, as if the mole is, pushing the dirt up, making a hill in the dirt. And then there's a card here, this little one where they can pop their head out and it makes the pile topple that's over them. So you're just trying to get the most points by doing so. There's the way you move your mole is by cards. So you'll be drawing in a draft, you'll be drafting 4 cards each round. You have tokens of 1, 2, and 3 to choose. First, you choose randomly who goes first, and then it's based on who has the most of their color on top of the stacks, gets to choose first, or choose which turn they want to take. Turn order. We played a 3-player game, so we have 3 of them out here. But you can play up to 4 players. So you just keep going round to round. You put out 15 cards, I think, and it's 3 rows. It's a row of 5 for each player. So we had 15 cards out drafted. So you just take turns picking 1 card at a time, going around the table until each player has 4 cards, and then you discard the rest. The cards consist of movement, which are, you can see there's one with a straight arrow, either +1, 2, or 3. You have them, these are very important, we found out quickly, the ones that allow you to turn, because once you get to the end, if you can't turn, you're stuck. We got stuck a lot, because these turn cards didn't come out very often. Or if they did, there was only like 1, so 1 or 2 people will be stuck that round. So this one allows you to move left or turn left or right. You don't get to move, but you can just turn your mole's nose, because however the nose of the mole is facing, that's the only way it can go, unless you have a turn card. This one allows you to turn and move 1. You can do them in any order. You can move 1 first, then turn. You have to turn the direction of the arrow, so this you would turn left, and you can move 1 in either order first. This one allows you to do about face, but again, you don't get to move. You're just flipping your mole to move next time. I already spoke about this one. That card allows you to pop your head up, and then when you do that, the stack topples, and you decide, the player who topples it gets to decide whether it goes left or right, this way or this way. It can't go diagonal. It just has to go either in the column or the row. And you would just go, if this one toppled, you would leave the bottom one, and then each of these would go on, like this would go there, this would go here, and this would go here. So you just pretend it topples, and 1 falls on each stack to however which way it went. Depending on how tall it is, that determines how many stacks get a new piece on it. If each round you're only allowed to have a certain height of molehills. First round, you can only have a height of 2. So if you happen to create a stack that goes over 2 in that round, you would have to topple it, and then if it causes another one to be higher than 2, you topple that one, and the person who toppled it gets to decide which way it falls, because it might be strategic for you to have it fall a certain way, depending on what's there on that row or column. And you just keep going. The height goes up as you go through the rounds. Like in round 6, you could have a total of 5 in a stack. So you're just doing that for 6 rounds, like I said. drafting new cards, and the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins the game. So, I didn't cover the rock. I forgot the rock. So if you have the rock, you just take this rock, move it wherever you want on the board. You roll the dice. That determines, if you bump into it, what you can do with your mole. That we never bumped into the rock, but it does allow you to turn. We just never got there, I guess. So what do you think about this game?
I think the components are really cool, and I mean, they're great looking and everything. Also, the way you build the box and everything. I don't think it's practical because it does provide a lot of shade underneath. I don't know if that was intentional, but it's hard to see what's underneath in the first column or the first floor. But the gameplay, I would say it's pretty much linear. It's just feels one-dimensional because it's luck-based, first of all, because you're determined on the cards. Also, it's also determined on if you're blocked by your opponent. So you can't even predetermine what your moves are going to be, because a lot of times you'll get blocked. But I think it's cool, the concept of building up and everything, and how it falls, and then it just goes to the other tiles or the other grids. But I think that it could be better improved on. Replayability, low replayability, because it just seemed very luck based, and there was not a lot of strategic elements to the game because you can't strategize, for the next turn because there's so many things that move and blocks and different things. So low replayability. Overall total, I'm giving this a 5 out of 10. I really wanted to like it. I thought the concept was pretty cool when I looked at it, the design, everything. But I just think there's a lot missing, and I just don't feel it's complete because there's a lot of things that just not very strategic in the way you play. And so 5 out of 10. What did you think?
I feel about the same. I did forget to mention, when you draft your cards, this makes it difficult as well when you're playing. You have to, before you start, once everyone drafts, you have to decide what order you want your cards to go in right there. And you place them in the order, your 4 cards in the stack, and you cannot rearrange them after that point. So you're basically planning your 4 moves before you start the round, not knowing what the other people are going to be doing. So you get stuck a lot because of that, because you'll get other moles in your way. Because if you bump into a mole, if you don't have a turn card, you're stuck. If you get to the end of the row, for instance, in a 3-player game, you don't use this outside part, or if you get to the end of the box even, you're stuck unless you have a turn card. So we got stuck quite a bit because like I said when I was going the overview, those turn cards didn't come out very often, and when they did, there would only be 1 or 2 of them. So you would always have someone stuck every round. So it was hard, like he said, to form a strategy because it is luck-based, and from round to round, you don't know what's coming out. So you can plan, the cards you draft, you can see where you're at and kind of plan your 4 moves. I was able to do that, but that doesn't mean it's going to play out that way, because there's other moving parts in this game and other moles. Anthony kept getting in my way a lot. So I got stuck a lot. Had great plans, they just didn't pan out. So it was, for me, I found it a little repetitive and kind of not that fun, because it was just, you don't really have much control. You're just kind of, and then the counting of the colors on the bottom, I don't know, it was just kind of like, eh. So I would give it a 5 out of 10. I'm sure there's a lot of people that think this game's fun and enjoy it. We just like a little bit more action, I guess,
strategic
in our games, and strategy, and just more action. It was just too repetitive from round to round, and I can't see myself wanting to play this game again. Just to be honest, and it would just be this. Although the cards are different coming out, it would just be the same game over again because you're just hoping to get the right cards. So. Hopefully this helped you to decide. I know we didn't give it a raving review, but I think there are a lot of people that really like this game, so it just depends on what type of game you like. Everyone has different tastes. It's not a bad game. It's just not for us, really.
Yeah, I think the more games we play, the more, I guess, more elements and strategic manipulation that there are in games that we enjoy. I think the games that are kind of like the, I guess, like beginner or, just the middleweight games, become pushed down more because the more games you play, the more strategy you want to, pretty much have that feel of you're able to control the game. And so this one, there's very little control. Yeah,
so we will put the link in the description if this is a game you think you might enjoy. I mean, like I said, everyone has different tastes, so check this game out for yourself. See what you think. We played a lot of the op games, and we normally love their games. So it's rare that we don't actually have fun on one of their games. But, they have a ton of games, so not all of them are going to be winners, I'm guessing, for us. So,
well, not all of them are suited for our play style.
Right.
As opposed to other people.
Right. But thank you again for watching. Please give this video a like. Feel free to leave a comment or a question. If you're not already, we hope you'll subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of games we'll be covering with reviews, overviews. We don't do playthroughs as often, but we will, sometimes if it's a newer game, we will do a playthrough on it. So please keep watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.